A welcome development, and we are really happy.
Federal government's free train ride commences nationwide. More travels, shopping and connecting. Correspondents share moments with Nigerians as Christmas draws near.
Christmas is a season where we share love and just hope for the better.
Federal government to inject additional $20 billion into the economy to achieve a 7% growth rate by 2027.
When you look at the facts, the figures, the evidence, you can see that progress is being made.
Plus, President Tinubu reconnects with his political base, joins congregation for Juma prayer at Alausa in Lagos. Good to have you join us on NTA News at 9. I am Lami Ali. Ayodeji Makinde has the sports update. And we also have with us in the studio the acting managing director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation as the federal government kickstarts the free train ride for Nigerians to celebrate the Christmas. NTA.ng/live is the address to join us online and follow us on the other handles of the NTA for updates as displayed on your screen. Now, the Nigeria business community is projecting that the country's economy will improve drastically in year 2025. A Nigerian captain of industry, Abdul Samad Rabiu, who was part of the president's entourage in Lagos today, expressed his belief on the positive outlook of the economy. He believes with the foundational reforms carried out as the initial stage of President Tinubu's administration, Nigerians will begin to see the results in the coming years.
I believe some of these reforms, yes, initially, there were a bit of a challenge, but things are getting much better now, and I'm quite confident and optimistic, that things will definitely get better in Nigeria. Mr. President is doing a lot. The government is really doing so much to ensure that there is stability, within the economy and, other sectors, of course, other sectors of the economy. We can see what is going on as regards infrastructure. A lot of roadworks are going on, and I believe given a bit of time, things will definitely get better. We need to be a bit, patient. These reforms do take time.
President Bola Tinubu today joined the congregation to observe Jumat prayer at the Lagos State Secretariat Community Central Mosque. Alausa Ikeja State House correspondent Musbaud and Wahab reports that the president took time out to reunite with his roots.
President Bola Tinubu decided to touch his political base once again. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy Femi Hamzat led in line to receive their leader. But for this moment, it was for special purpose. And the messages of the sermon seemingly appropriately decided. Imam of the Lagos State Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Saeed Ahmed, reminded the congregation and Nigerians on the importance of one's loyalty and commitment to the development of one's country, while acknowledging the need for political leaders to provide the right direction necessary for social and economic growth. The Imam pointed out that the citizens must equally be decisive and play their respective roles in the process of nation building. Imam Ahmed enjoined Nigerians to be united and work together to make the Project Nigeria work. After the two standing salats, the Imam also led a special prayer for the President, his household and cabinet as they work to actualize a greater Nigeria.
The strength, the wisdom, the guidance, the support, constructive advice that will enable him even to be much better. We pray for him.
President Tinubu also reconnected with his roots as he visited the home of his late mother, Alhaja Habibatu Mogaji, in Alausa, Ikeja. One of the long-standing features of Lagos resonated as a presidential convoy also had a feel of the Lagos traffic. In Lagos, Musbal and Wahab, NT News.
It's another time of the season where vehicular movements and travels are expected. The situation is same here in Abuja, where more travelers are boarding vehicles to their destinations. Well, our correspondent Oyeyemi Ajayi reports that the transport fares seem to be on the high side this time around. But let's hear from him. Oyeyemi, over to you.
The usual activities are back, especially when journeys abound. A prayer for safety to their destination. But that is not the story. It's a visit to different motor parks in the Federal Capital Territory to see the level of activities there. There seem to be much people set on the journey. Sights of families and those not travel alone. But the concern remains the transport fare.
Precisely here at the Jabi Park, we saw the influx of people trying to travel to different locations. Though Jabi Park was not actually the only place visited. As one of the parks that we visited from Abuja to Onitsha is 45,000 naira, and from that same park from Abuja to Lagos, 43,000 naira. Also in another park we have Abuja to Port Harcourt, 59,800, and from Abuja to Lagos is 45,000 naira, while Abuja to Kaduna is 9,000 naira. To Sokoto as well is 20,000 naira.
The three vehicles that have that CNG, they don't collect as much as other vehicles that use fuel.
How much do they collect?
They collect 35. And we don't have much vehicles that has that CNG.
Last year, I think I took it for 25,000 naira, but unfortunately this year is 55,000 naira. I'm going to say maybe because of the festivity going on, maybe that's why, and fuel price.
I paid for only 2 seats now for 131,000.
And our government, so they have to do some things to subsidize and the transportation fares.
It depends on how plenty your luggage is. If your load is plenty, they will charge you more, and if it's maybe like a bag or two, maybe you pay like 2,000, 3,000 for it.
It could be noted that despite the high fare, many people remain undeterred to ensure they travel to reunite with their family or visit holiday destinations to see their loved ones after a long time. But to some, of major concern now is what the transport fares will be when they plan returning. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Now, still on travel to celebrate Christmas, train stations across Nigeria played host to thousands of passengers taking advantage of the free train ride declared by the federal government. Transport correspondent Ladi Bala witnessed the commencement of the exercise in Abuja and now reports.
It is the first day of the free train ride across the country declared by the federal government. The atmosphere here reflects the mood of the utilized.
As in, this is my first time to experience this. So I was saying, wow, as in where the government are trying. We really appreciate them. God will bless them more and more.
Really a welcome development, and we are really happy. I have an assignment to do in Kaduna, so I came here to see everywhere is crowded. But thank God I'm inside now, so I'm heading to Kaduna right away.
I'm a corps member serving in command, Kaduna State. From command to Rigasa, I only spent 1,000 naira. Then from here, normally before it used to be 4,000. At least I can save the 4,000 as a corps member now. At least added to my allowance now.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
An average of 20,000 passengers across the 6 routes in the country are expected to enjoy the free ride on a daily basis.
The passengers boarded, those with tickets and those without tickets. The ones without tickets were profiled. What I want to appeal to Nigerians and our passengers is make your travel plans early. Book online. The tickets are available. It makes it easy for us.
This exercise, many say, will not only enhance the economic power of Nigerians, but promote social interaction, love and unity in the country. In Abuja, Adibala, NTA News.
Now, for more insights on the free train ride nationwide, we have the acting Managing Director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, Ben Iluanusi. So I thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you, Ladi, for having me.
All right. The free train ride is a palliative of the federal government, and it commenced across the country. Now, tell us how the takeoff was today.
Okay, thank you once more for having me, Ladi. First of all, I want to thank the federal government for this well-timed initiative. It's gone a long way to help passengers across the nation over the period. I personally was at the station today to witness the kickoff, and it went well. People were able, I spoke to passengers before they boarded and when they alighted. People were able to get their tickets online, and those that weren't able to get their tickets online, they came to the station, they were profiled, and they were validated, and then they boarded. And I'm happy to say that across the country, across the routes that we are offering these services, all the information I got back to were that it was quite successful. I want to thank the federal government again for this initiative. So today was quite successful. Tomorrow we'll start again, and it will run for early January.
All right, you talked about the ticketing matter.
Yeah.
I'm sure our viewers who would want to join this free train ride, they would want to know the requirements to qualify for one to benefit from this initiative.
Okay, so there are actually no requirements. All you need is a valid ID card in terms of your name, NIN, your international passport, and then your driver's license. If you have all of that, you go to our portal, which is www.nrc.ng.gov. You go in there, on the first page you see book my ride. You book your ride there, and it's totally free of charge. But please ensure you use a valid ID card. If for any reasons they are unable to book online, you can come to the station. We'll profile you and would allow you to board. But please, if you're coming to the station, ensure you come early. I think the critical thing is to always make your travel plans early. Get to your designated station early with a valid ID card. We should be able to profile you, validate you, and then allow you to board.
Okay, looking at the number of people that turned up for the free train ride today, are you by any chance increasing the frequency on the routes, or you're just maintaining your schedules?
Well, we take it as it comes. However, it's fairly difficult to increase frequency on the train routes because it's set, if you see what I mean. So we would ensure, the most important thing for us is to ensure that we carry everybody according to our capacity, everybody that comes to the station to board. But just quickly, while we're talking about the routes, let me just mention the routes where this free train service is happening. So we have the Lagos-Ibadan train service, we have the Kaduna-Abuja train service, we have the Warri-Itape train service, we have the Lagos mass transit train, we have the Port Harcourt-Aba, and then we have what we call the Bola Ahmed Tinubu mass transit, which is also in Lagos. So these 6 services are where we are offering the free ride.
All right, now to wrap up the conversation, what message does the NRC have for Nigerians as they trip out to board the trains?
Okay, it's simply, I'll go back to this because it's important for everybody. Make your travel plans early, come on time, have a valid ID card, and please, I'm again appealing to our passengers to try and be orderly at the station, obey the regulations, obey the rules, and try and be orderly, and then you board and enjoy the ride.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, as a reminder of God's gift of love and sacrifice to mankind, Christmas, the commemorative birth of Christ, offers critical lessons that can promote peace, unity, and tolerance among Nigerians if imbibed. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this at a Christmas brunch she hosted for children at the Villa. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Excitement on their faces, they filed into the conference center of the presidential villa for a Christmas brunch with their host and First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu. 70 in number, they are drawn from Vine Heritage Home, Gwagwalada, and Abuja Children's Home, Karu. A test of the understanding of the new national anthem got the party underway. Then began the Christmas story, written and told by the First Lady.
Herod was the king at that time. I heard and asked, who is that king of the Jews that the three wise men have come to worship?
They listened to the story with rapt attention, walking away with a better understanding of the birth of Christ and the value of sacrifice.
Today, as we celebrate, remember some of your sisters and brothers who do not have the means to celebrate. Some of your brothers are home and your sisters are home, so they are not here. So whatever you take, you are going to share with them.
Apart from the children, Christmas also holds crucial lessons for the nation.
God is just turning the wheel. It gets to everyone. So I want everybody to remove the habit of hatred. Jesus came to show us love. And that's the love we as Christians should imbibe.
In quick succession, the children were treated to sumptuous meal, Christmas gift, and of course, the Merry Christmas song with the First Lady and her guests cheering them on.
It's a special day and a lovely day because everyone is happy.
I'll tell them how I had fun, my ice creams, everything that went on, and also about Santa.
They've heard about the State House, about the wife of the president, and they were very happy to be here today. In fact, throughout yesterday night, we had to do vigil to prepare them. They were eager.
This is the second edition of the Christmas Children Party to be organized by the First Lady. From the conference center of the Presidential Villa, Adini Taiwo, NTA News.
Federal government's plans to propel the health sector in the coming years. This and more after the break. Do stay. Christmas is here again with the usual hustle and bustle. Let's join correspondent Bosede Ebelamosu as she takes us to the market to see the latest prices of food items and what people are buying for the season.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, food inflation rate in November 2024 rose by 7.08% to 39.93% from 32.84% in November 2023 on a year-on-year basis. The year-on-year rise in food inflation is attributed to increases in the prices of various staple food items such as rice, beans, yam, potatoes, grains, garri, palm oil and vegetable oil, among others. This is Gariki Market, and business activities are at top gear. Here are the prices of some food items.
Like a mood of egusi before was 750, now a mood is 3,500, 3,000. Stockfish, bag of stockfish before was 140, now is 450, 350. Bag of rice is 150, 120. At least means the price has reduced.
Other prices like this size of yam sells for 3,500 naira. This basket of tomato sells for 5,000 naira. Pepper 6,000 naira. Onion 11,000 naira. A kilo of meat goes for 7,000 naira. Now, let's hear from this chicken seller.
It's not as if there is much tradition of prices. It's just that the customers, our patronage, they are not getting it easy. This one is old layers, 8,000 broilers. It's agric as well. It's 12,000 naira.
Despite the high cost of commodities, some say the show must go on.
Christmas is a season where we share love and just hope for the better.
Apart from food items, there are other side attractions that symbolizes the season. Christmas is usually described as a season of hope, and many Nigerians believe that with the 2025 budget proposal before the National Assembly, proper implementation is expected to ease the pressure on the economy come 2025. In Abuja, Bosode Abul Amosu, NTA News.
The federal government has announced plans to inject an additional $20 billion into the economy to achieve a 7% growth rate by 2027. The massive investment plan was disclosed at a citizens and stakeholders engagement session where the coordinating minister of the economy restated government's commitments towards economic growth that will improve the lives of Nigerians in the coming years. Neka Uku reports.
The federal government's commitment to transparency and accountability was evident at the Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement session as the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy took time to provide detailed breakdown of government's economic reforms and their impact on the economy. One of the notable achievements highlighted is the significant decrease in the country's debt service to revenue ratio from 149% in Quarter 2 2023 to 67% in Quarter 2 2024. This is in addition to improvement in the country's external position, with gross foreign exchange reserves reaching $42 billion, driven by current account surplus, increased foreign portfolio investments, and remittance inflows.
When you look at the facts, the figures, the evidence, we can see that progress is being made. However, when we look at the figures on food security or lack of it, when we look at the figures on multidimensional poverty, when we look at some of the employment figures and our experience, we know that much more needs to be done.
The government's efforts to improve revenue generation have also paid off. This is as the Federal Inland Revenue Service exceeded its revenue targets for Quarter 2 and Quarter 3 2024, generating 5.43 trillion naira and 6.43 trillion naira respectively.
On the other hand, the Nigerian Customs Service had a revenue target of 1.27 trillion and 1.3 trillion in Q2 and Q3 respectively, and has also been able to generate 1.39 trillion and 1.57 trillion respectively.
Despite this progress, challenges remain. The country's fiscal deficit to GDP ratio still stands at 4.4% in Quarter 2 2024. And with a population of more than 200 million people, the pressure to deliver economic growth and opportunities is mounting. In Abuja, Neka Uku, NTA News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Party, says the more the country becomes wealthier, the health sector's contribution to the GDP will increase significantly and more jobs will be created. While the health sector accounts for nearly 14% of the U.S. economy and 10% in countries under the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Nigeria currently lags at 3%. The coordinating minister therefore noted that President Bola Tinubu's agenda of positioning the health sector as a critical pillar for national development and economic diversification is apt. The minister said this at the steering committee meeting of the Presidential Healthcare Value Chain Unlocking Program, chaired by the coordinating minister of the economy, Wale Edun, at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja. He expresses confidence in the committee's strategy, which will propel the health sector forward in the coming year.
Most OECD countries is almost 10%. We are 3%, but as we grow wealthier, health will be a larger contribution of our GDP. It's also a job creator across the sector, and there's also an economic value around it. And I think that's what informed the wisdom of Mr. President to anchor this initiative as a deliberate measure so that we unleash the healthcare value chain, looking at policy measures, regulatory measures, financing measures, but also what the private sector can do.
The exchange rate is competitive for manufacturers now. The incentives are against importing, and they're all for producing domestically. And as we just look forward to the constant stream of announcements, and you know they are becoming regular. The Total announced a big investment. Shell just announced an even bigger investment. And of course, I know so many others in the manufacturing sector saying they have a $1 billion investment program in Nigeria. Even domestic manufacturers.
Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has commended the Federal Emergency Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, as the most effective federal government agency, citing its outstanding performance with the support of President Tinubu. He stated this while hosting the Minister of State for Works, Bello Muhammad Gorunyo, at the Government House, who was in the state for the inauguration of some upgraded federal roads. Usman Zubairu reports.
Idris said many parts of Nigeria, Federal Road Maintenance Agency is actively delivering on its mandate, and applauded President Tinubu for providing the necessary support to ensure its optimal performance. The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to support the federal government's initiative and collaboration on projects that benefit Kebbi State. He appreciated the federal government for booking the road construction project from Koko, Mahuta, Dabai, and allowing the Kebbi State government to take ownership of the project.
We have enjoyed work that FEMA is doing. Therefore, we will not forget FEMA in the
Minister of State for Work, Bello Muhammad Goranyu, was in the state to inaugurate rehabilitated federal government roads, reiterated the federal government's determination to strengthen collaboration with Kebbi State government on the Renew Hope infrastructure project.
Someone that has the passion and the commitment to the Nigeria project. This is a leader that is committed to Nigeria. This is a leader that is ready to serve the people of Nigeria no matter what.
Similarly, the minister and his entourage were also at the palace of Emir of Gondu, Ilyasu Bashir, to seek royal blessings. Usman Zubair, NT News.
A magistrate's court sitting in Ado-Ekiti has granted bail in the sum of 30 million naira to a human rights activist and lawyer, Dele Farutimi. Magistrate Abayomi Adeosun gave the order in a ruling on the bail application of the defendants, who is standing trial for defamation. Ulukemi Sani has the details.
On the bail application, Chief Magistrate Abayomi Adeosun ruled that aside the 30 million naira is stipulated, he said Farotimi is to provide two responsible sureties, with one of them to have landed property within Ado-Ekiti jurisdiction, while he is to equally surrender his international passport to the court. Farotimi was also instructed not to grant media interviews while the case is still ongoing. The counsel to the petitioner and the accused reacted to the ruling.
The court has vindicated us this morning, and our patience has paid off. The court has granted him bail. It is his constitutional right, and whatever the conditions are, we believe that by the grace of God, we will fulfill that condition.
He's entitled to bail. He has been granted bail. He should go and perfect the conditions for the bail. The next level of action is that the matter is adjourned for definite hearing on the 30th of February. So the prosecution will start their case on that day.
The case has been adjourned till 13th of February 2025 for hearing on the trial. In Ado-Ekiti, Olukemi Sani, NTA News.
Troops in the northwest have arrested high-profile terrorists identified as Hamis Osali, known as Master, and Abubakar Muhammad. In a statement, the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says the troops also arrested another high-profile and notorious terrorist identified as Bako Wurgi, who was linked to the murder of the Sokoto monarch and a staunch ally of wanted high-profile terrorist Bello Turji. The Defense Headquarters notes that since his arrest, Bako Wurgi has provided valuable intelligence to support troops' operation before he died. In the week under review, troops neutralized 212 terrorists, arrested 272, and rescued 152 kidnapped victims, recovered 247 assaulted weapons, and 6,174 ammunition. NTA Network News continues in Lagos with Jennifer Igwe as our guide. It's over to you, Jennifer. With Jennifer Igwe as our guide.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has expressed his commitment to ensuring the welfare of officers and men of the Nigerian police force. He stated this at the groundbreaking ceremony of 2,200 police housing units in Lagos. Diana Ajale reports that the project, which is in collaboration with the Lagos State government, is located at Ije Police Barracks.
This groundbreaking ceremony will no doubt mark a new era of comfort for officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force. The remodeling and restructuring of 2,200 housing units across police barracks in the metropolis, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says, is in compliance with Lagos State urban and regional planning as well as development law.
This milestone is a commitment by the welfare of our security personnel and our police and our policemen and women who are serving the nation, safeguarding our lives and properties, also deserve to be taken good care of. And this Ije Police Barracks is the first that will be seen in the development.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun decried the state of most buildings in various barracks, adding that remodeling is necessary.
Many of these barracks were constructed over 50 years ago and have been in use without proper maintenance. This new facility will not only improve the welfare of our officers, but also enhance their ability to serve and protect our communities. We want to see our officers moving into this modern facility within the given timeline. We will not take excuses. What we want is the delivery of the modern barracks.
For the IGP, the foundation laying of 2,200 police housing units is a significant step towards enhancing the welfare of officers and men of the police force, who are always in the forefront, ensuring lives and property are protected. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And to youth initiatives, efforts by Nigeria and Diaspora Commission to leverage on the expertise of Nigerian experts abroad to enhance productivity in Nigeria is yielding dividends. With Connected Diaspora, a group of young Nigerians abroad set to train young Nigerians in tech and digital world. Joel Pola reports that NITCOM CEO Abike Dabiri Erewa says the agency will continue to deepen collaboration through its home string program to attract investments into the country.
Brain drain to brain gain, these young Nigerians in the diaspora who have gained relevant exposure in the digital world are here to help fast-track Nigeria's developmental journey with the support of Nigerian Diaspora Commission, which has been ensuring Nigeria benefits not just from diaspora remittance, but the expertise. And this is what the Connected Diaspora are offering to make a difference through technological innovation and impact.
We believe as technology is rampant and taking over the world, that is the way. So by making young people more technology literate, you empower them with the ability to be more productive.
Looking at, ensuring that people know exactly what's happening in Nigeria and they're being actively involved. So have the conversation and the dialogue around, what we can do as the youth for our country as we keep, making our country progress.
Positive projection of Nigeria by citizens, NITCOM CEO and other stakeholders say will sustain this and many more developmental initiatives.
This is the first we're doing that for Connected Diaspora with young Nigerians, and we have the Home Strings program, which is particularly for the second and third generation of Nigerians in diaspora. So we continue to build on the Home Strings program and work with more younger Nigerians. And you see their passion, their enthusiasm, and their faith in their country.
We need to sort of talk more about the good things happening in our country, and I think
These young guys are noticing it, even if some of us in here don't notice it. So it's a good thing.
As Nigerians who are in diaspora, I think the best thing we do and that we can continue to do is to launder our image.
For NIDCOM and other stakeholders, this latest development is a morale booster to continue to strengthen initiatives that will make Nigeria a preferred investment destination. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
A break is next. The news will continue after. Stay with us. You're welcome back. The National Orientation Agency, NOA, is scaling up campaign to reawaken the consciousness of citizens towards nation building. Kenneth Nanim reports that the agency is using a town hall meeting in Abuja to draw public attention to eroding societal values.
To ensure Nigerians imbibe reorientation messages, especially as contained in the National Values Charter designed for nation building, the National Orientation Agency has come up with 5 priority areas of campaigns, which include sensitization of citizens against the spread of HIV/AIDS and to bring to the public notice interventions by government to mitigate impact. Other areas are security consciousness and the get-rich-quick syndrome amongst the society, especially the younger generation.
Today, we have one language you hear people saying, Yahoo, Yahoo. Where did this language come from? You look at our young people today, they want to be rich now. Because they saw someone who is driving a very big car, he has built a good house. You don't even care to know how he started, where he has been to, what he has suffered, the experience he has. I want to get it tomorrow also. We fathers, it doesn't give us joy any longer.
Campaign against human rights abuses and the need to support the tax reform bill before the National Assembly are also included. This forum is therefore a call for action.
This campaign is not just about government activities, government initiatives, but a collective movement towards a better Nigeria.
Here it was agreed that for the National Orientation Agency to succeed in the national assignment, every citizen has a role to play. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
That motivation spurs hard work among employees informed the celebration of hard-working staff of the Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development, courtesy of the Director General Asabe Vilita Bashir. Ngozi Technical reports that the staff of the year smiled home with different gifts aside food items.
Members of staff of the Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development, having met the set target for the year 2024, gathered to receive commendation from the Director General for a job well done, which made the year fruitful.
I cannot operate in an island now. You give me the conducive environment for me to work. That is why I did what I did. So I thank you so much for all your kind words. I appreciate you, and only God sees my heart. All of you are my brothers and sisters.
Some of the staff explained why this celebration is significant to most of them.
I've been in this center since 1997 as a youth corps member, and I have never seen this happen before. This is the first time.
With motivations such as these, the workers are in high spirit to put in their best come 2025, as they're saying that the reward for hard work is more work. Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
Now, putting smile on the faces of the elderly have numerous benefits for their emotional, physical and social well-being. Elizabeth Omorui reports that the National Senior Citizen Center and its technical partners took its care train to Pioi, Later and Jidu communities in Abuja to sensitize the aging population of the community on efforts of the federal government in meeting their needs. Director General of the Center, represented by Head Corporate Affairs, Media and Communications, assured the senior citizens of more beneficial initiatives in the coming year.
We also need unions that will add to your life and
extend it and make it
God will bless every one of them. Organizers, I'm very, very happy.
The widows and the fatherless will say thank you.
Food items, cash and other materials were distributed. The beneficiaries called for more support to promote their full inclusion into governance. Summit of the Organization for Economic Cooperation ends in Egypt, and Kenya takes stance in response to gender violence. Kolo Mohammed brings us details on these and other stories on Global Updates.
Were part of the Cairo Declaration issued at the conclusion of the summit in the Egyptian capital. The D8 established to bolster economic collaboration includes Turkey, Egypt, Nigeria, Pakistan, Iran, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Bangladesh. The leaders and delegations of member nations voiced unanimous support for Azerbaijan's acceptance as a full member. It expressed opposition to unilateral economic sanctions imposed on member states, describing the measures as threats to global economic stability and violations of international law. Member states called for the immediate lifting of the sanctions. In just 4 months, 100 women have been killed, mostly by men they knew, including partners. Authorities refer to this growing problem as the elephant in the room and noted that many more cases are still under investigation in courts. Since September 2023, there have been 7,107 reports of sexual and gender-based violence in Kenya. In other news, Sri Lanka's Naval Authority rescued a boat of 102 Rohingya refugees adrift in a fishing trawler of the Indian Ocean island nation, bringing them safely to port. The mostly Muslim ethnic Rohingya are heavily persecuted in Myanmar, and thousands risk their lives each year on long sea journeys. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
I now hand you over to Ayodeji Makinde for sports updates.
Oh yes, thanks Lami. Let's begin with football. It's going to be a weekend of marquee fixtures in the Nigeria Premier Football League with traditional rivalries, derbies and matchups in different weight classes. Niger Tornadoes of Mina are already in Kano to bring down the stronghold of Pillars, complete with veterans Ahmed Musa and Rabiu Ibrahim. El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri have completed a diagonal trip to Akure, where they are up against Sunshine Stars. 15th placed Lobby Stars of Makudi are in Benin to bend the aspirations for survival of insurance, while on Sunday, Plateau United at the Jos International Stadium take on Eyimba of Abba. Also on Sunday, the Football Cathedral in Enugu will entertain age-long rivals Rangers and Shooting Stars of Ibadan, just as league leaders Rivers United are guests of Nasarawa United in Lafia. Away from Nigeria, Villa Park is the venue for lunchtime kickoff in the English Premier League this weekend as Aston Villa welcome defending champions Manchester City, who are still struggling to get their footing after consecutive losses and dropping of points. Brighton are in London to play West Ham United, just as Newcastle United, fresh from reaching the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, at Portman Road to play Ipswich Town. In other fixtures, Crystal Palace welcome Arsenal to the Selhurst Park in a London derby. Now let's move on from football and go to the NBA, where basketball star LeBron James has put himself in line to set more records after he broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing NBA record for most minutes played in a regular season's history. The 39-year-old clocked his 57,447th minutes in his team's 113-110 points win over Sacramento Kings. Abdul-Jabbar won the NBA championship 6 times and ended his career in 1989, having played 57,446 minutes. Last year, LeBron James, who plays as a point guard, also surpassed Abdul-Jabbar's record to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer and now has more than 41,000 points to his name with 22 NBA full seasons and still counting. And that's your sports. It's back to Lami.
Thank you so much, Ayo. Now, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has expressed sadness over the death of children due to a stampede at a fun fair in Ibadan, Oyo State, describing the incident as unfortunate. The Speaker, in his condolence message, called for a thorough investigation of the incidents to forestall a recurrence, while also advocating caution during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. He commiserated with the governments and the people of Oyo State, especially the families of the victims, and prayed for the repose of the souls of the deceased. Similarly, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu urges all stakeholders to work together to ensure that such tragedies are prevented in the future. He says the House is profoundly disturbed by the tragedy while commiserating with the victims. And that does it on the news on this last Friday before Christmas. We thank you for your time. We now take you back to the ongoing stakeholders engagements by the House of Representatives as the National Assembly. Do have a good weekend.